So what's happening, everybody? Glad to see you back with me. I'm Kelvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Copastatick, where we'll be talking about stories from the hood. Now, you remember last time we talked about the situation I had, at the gas station and how violent that got. So, after that went down, I had some issues. I was like, man, how could I get so angry to respond in such a violent manner? And, I had to look at my life and no one should get that angry. No one should ever get to a point where they want to kill somebody, really. And I even I went and joined a dojo, taekwondo, to manage my anger, to, funnel my violent tendencies. Didn't work. So I did a couple of things, and it came to me, and I talked to my wife, and she said, it's how you brought up, and then, see, here's the way it go. In a stressful situation, you're going to revert back to what you really, really are. If you're a chicken heart, if you're scary, if you got guts, if you don't take no shit, all these things are going to happen under great stress. So what happened, I guess I just reverted back to the things that I was used to during my formative years, and that's what we're going to talk about. So today, oh yeah, by the way, the biggest therapy I got out of all this is I wrote a book. Called Off to a Bad Start. And I'm going to show it to you next time, maybe this time. And you can get it on Amazon.com. Just, go to Amazon.com and you can search with my name, Kelvin Fossett, or the title of the book, Off to a Bad Start. So today we're going to talk about a situation that went down back in the day. This is 1968. I was 12 years old. And my little friends and partners and stuff, we figured it was a hot summer day, and we're going to go to the public pool in North Gleason Park. See, you can't get South Gleason Park and North Gleason Park mixed up, because North Gleason Park in 1968 in Gary, Indiana, was the black part of the park. The South Park was for whites only. Do not get that mixed up. Okay, enough said. So we put our little chips together, and you walk about 2 miles out to the park, go swimming. And so it's me, a girl named Violet. She's kind of a tomboy, beautiful. Dexter, Slick. So, we head to the pool. We get there. We never got enough money to get in, but there's a golf course next to it, and they always had the sprinklers on, watering the grass. So we would give Violet our clothes and our towels and stuff we have on our swimming trunk. She would pay to get in. We would go and get like soaking wet in the sprinklers, and then when the pool guy's not looking, we'll slide under the fence and act like we've been in the pool all the while. There you go. So we're up in the pool, and Violet's 12 years old, but she's got a Coca-Cola shaped body. So when she put on her bikini and get wet, it's like, she's on hit. So we love going swimming. We could cop some feels on Violet's big butt. So that was fun. So anyway, we're in the pool, swimming, splashing around, enjoying the over-chlorinated water, which they did to minority pools. We're so filthy, they got to put extra bleach in here. And our eyes are burning, still having fun, all this. So we hear all this commotion going on across the way over in like the picnic area of the park, and you can see it. It's all these cars and all these people, but it's a rumble. You can hear this arguing and all this going on. What it is, it's like a membership meeting, and I guess they're electing officers for like one of the largest street gangs in Gary, the Kangaroos. Now, at this time, Gary's population is about 270,000 people. And you got street gangs everywhere. You got the Kangaroos, the Undertakers, the Terrytown Rangers, the Butchers, the 11th Avenue Gangsters, 18th Avenue Gangsters, the Angels, the Sensei Disciples, the Blackface Angels, the Apollos, the Agents, the Diablos, Border Boys, Heel Toppers, Rican Brothers, the Contours, Tea Makers, Farmers. Then you got gangs out of Chicago, which is only like 20 or so miles away. So you got chapters of the Viceroys, the Black Peace Stone Nation, and the Disciples, all vying for Gary. Because Gary was what was happening. So anyway, we all this stuff going down. So we slide out the pool, under the fence again, and we, go over and see what's going on, So they had these big garbage cans there, in the park. So we like hiding behind the garbage cans looking at, what's happening. And this guy, Billy Foster, notorious Billy Foster, like we've heard his name around, you shoot people, tough guy. And then this other guy, John Mulberry, a member of the gang, they're arguing. They're standing, face to face, talking, arguing, cussing, carrying on. All of a sudden, this guy Billy pulls out a pistol, 38, and started blasting. So he shot this dude Mulberry like in the left chest, and it spun him around. And when he went around, it was like slow motion kind of to me. And from where we were hiding behind the cans, it looked like he was just like staring at us, like in shock, like, I just got shot. And before you could digest that, Billy shot him again in the other side of the chest, which made him spin the other way. Then 2 more shots. Bam, bam. This guy's going back and forth, and finally just falls to the ground. Before the dust could clear from him falling, man, people were taking all the gang members, everybody running. They were snatching people out of their cars, taking their cars, just getting away from this scene, So we still looking, looking around. And this guy that I know, he's about my brother's age. My brother was he was in a gang. He's in the Apollos. And so I knew this other guy, Leon Price. He's like the warlord for the Kangaroos. Parliamentarian, if you want to look at it that way. But when he was running by, he looked down, he said, "Little Fossett, you get your butt out of here before I kick your little ass, And, it scared me, and, we act like we were leaving, but we didn't leave. Because we wanted to go over and see the dead man. So, after all these guys ran and, took off and everything, we eased over, and we looked down at John Mulberry. He was laying there. And he was like breathing, this labored breathing. He had these holes in his clothes with blood around him. And then he had a gold tooth. And he was like breathing like, and then there was blood bubbling out his mouth. It was horrible. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. I'm like, damn. So finally, he took that last death breath and and he was dead. I was like, damn. So we were standing around, people start, other regular folks start coming around. What happened? What happened? Nobody said anything because there was a couple of kangaroos still hanging around to make sure there were no witnesses that were going to talk. Okay? So everybody's waiting on the police and stuff. Police are always the last to get there. The first to get there was the ambulance. Now, in 1968 in Gary, there really wasn't any ambulance service. What there was the funeral home cars, the hearse. So if you got hit by a car, fell down some steps, or anything, you need to go to the hospital, the hearse would come and pick you up and take you to the hospital. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the way it was. Now, my thinking behind that was like, man, if I'm in a life or death situation and the undertaker funeral home people are picking me up to take me to get help. Really? They can only make real money if I'm dead. So who's the paramedic here? I mean, what's he gonna do? I mean, better to be dead on arrival, or, you know. So anyway, they get there, they pull out the gurney, they toss him up there like a bag of potatoes and throw him in there. About the time they got him, you know, all in the hearse and everything, the cops pull up. So they drag their ass out the car, you know. One guy pulls out a notebook. He's like, gonna do this thorough investigation. Like, anybody say anything? Like, nobody says anything, you know. Well, did anybody hear anything? Silence. He flips it closed, flips the notebook closed, like, okay, jump back in the car, and they take off in a cloud of dust. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So, that was it. My point. This is just the beginning. Imagine 12 years old, you see a guy get gunned down, and you watch him take his last breath. It's a murder scene. And I was a witness to it. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. I happened to see a guy get killed. I wasn't a witness. In Gary, Indiana, you are never a witness. Okay? So anyway, I saw this stuff. Now imagine, during your formative years, all through 12, 13, 14, 15, and you're continually bombarded with violent situations, violent resolutions to arguments which result in beatings, knifings, shootings, killings. And this is your steady diet. This is what you get in the inner city, in the hood, you know. Everything that you deal with on every corner, every situation, school, everything, boils down to that. This is no joke, people. That's why, at 50-something years old, when the guy punked me, that's cause for concern. Because getting punked on the streets of Gary, you might as well move to the suburbs. You wasn't going to make it. You know. So, next time, I'm going to talk to you about the mentality of the street gangs. I listed all those street gangs for you. They all had special identities, they all had their own turf, you know, their areas where they operated, I guess, you know. But they were an intricate part of the community at large, Gary, Indiana. You know, their small micro community where they live, and then the general population as well, because, you know, one thing affects another. And remember now, I'm 12 years old, 1968. Guess what? This is the summer that I leave elementary school and I head to middle school, 7th grade. This is traumatic. You are leaving elementary school where you're a kid. You know everybody, everybody's pretty cool. Now you're going into like a middle school where different parts of the city start coming together. Guys from the east side, west side, over here, over there, projects, this, that, and the other. Now they start meeting up. Man, there's some thugs out there. There's some gangsters out there. And they start in middle school. That's your gladiator training. These guys are getting ready to move into high school and become notorious. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. Get back with me on my next installment of Copastatick. And we're going to talk about the gang situation. And see, I use Gary because that's where I'm from. But man, you can transplant this information in any inner city in the United States. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So, remember, go down there, like this, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put my book up next time, so if you like these stories, you know, you can get my book and read all about it. Read all about it. So look, take it easy. You guys chill. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.